All right. Well, before we get to jury 36, I'm going to start inquiring of the various jurors. Welcome. I'm going to start with juror number 21. If you could please tell us, juror 21, whether you do have an occupation, and if so, what is it?
I'm currently retired.
Okay.
I'm a former teacher, a former business owner.
Thank you. Have you ever served on a jury?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want you to tell me how it came out, but was the case resolved?
Yes.
Okay. And do you believe you can keep an open mind until all the evidence is heard and the attorneys have argued the case?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Juror number 19, do you have an occupation? If so, what is it?
I'm retired, sir.
All right, so am I, except for this. Have you ever served on a jury? And if so,
yes, I
was
have.
a decision reached? Was a decision reached?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Juror number 23, do you have an occupation? Juror number 23, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Do you have an occupation?
No, I'm currently unemployed.
Okay. When you are employed, what do you do?
I work for, when I'm unemployed, I work for a call center.
Okay. Have you ever served on the jury?
No.
Okay. And do you believe you can keep an open mind until all the evidence has been received?
Yeah.
Thank you. Juror number 24, do you have an occupation?
Yes, I'm a dog walker, and I do Instacart and DoorDash.
Okay. And have you ever served on a jury?
No, I have not.
Can you keep an open mind until all the evidence is heard and the juries have argued the case? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Juror number 25, do you have an occupation? And if so, what is it?
Yes. No, I'm retired.
Okay. What did you do before you retired?
I was an analyst with the federal government.
Okay. Have you ever served in a jury?
No.
Okay. And do you believe you can keep an open mind until all the evidence is heard?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror number 27, do you have an occupation?
Yes, I'm a front desk clerk.
Okay. And have you ever served on a jury?
No, I have not.
Do you think you can keep an open mind until all the evidence is heard and the lawyers have argued the case?
Yes.
Okay. Juror number 37, do you have an occupation?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. What is that occupation?
I'm a forklift operator.
Okay. Thank you. Have you ever served on a jury?
Warehouse, yeah. No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Can you keep an open mind until all the evidence is in?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Finally, juror number 36. Hello.
Hi.
Do you have an occupation?
Yes.
What is it?
I'm a bank supervisor.
Okay. Have you ever served on a jury?
No.
Do you think you can keep an open mind until all the evidence has been received?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Hayes, would you like to inquire?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. And thank you all for being here with us today. I'm not sure if you heard the introduction, but I'm Jillian Hayes and I represent the plaintiff, Deborah Mulligan, in this matter. I wanted to start with a few follow-ups from some of the questions the judge just asked you, and I'd like to start with juror number 19. You mentioned that you've served as a juror before, is that correct?
Yes, that is.
Okay. And when was that?
Oh, late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. And in general, how was that experience for you?
It was very interesting.
Was it, without getting into details, was it a civil case or was it a criminal case?
It was a civil case, a personal injury.
Okay. And were you able to reach a verdict?
Yes, we were.
Okay. And do you recall if you were the foreman or forewoman in that deliberation?
I was.
Okay. And again, without going into too many details, did you find in favor of the plaintiff or the defendant in that matter?
The defendant.
Okay. What type of case was it? Was it a trip and fall, a auto accident, a dog bite?
It was an auto accident.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Juror 27, you are currently a front desk clerk, is that correct? Okay. Was that a yes? Oh, I think we may have some audio.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Where are you a front desk clerk?
At a university called Cal State Northridge.
At the university? Okay. And what kind of are your job duties and responsibilities as a front desk clerk?
General office work from helping students out, answering the phone, emails, making copies, faxing papers, all that general office work.
Okay. Do you have any job duties or responsibilities to keeping the area in which you work clean?
Yes, of course, yes.
Does that also include the floors?
No, we do have someone come in and clean. It's a brush, so we do have someone come in and do that.
Okay. I want to thank you all for filling out the juror questionnaire. And I just, again, number 27, one of the questions said, people who slip and fall at stores and claim bodily injury are probably lying. And you checked that you agree with that. Would you share your thoughts on that?
I believe it varies between case and case. There are good people and there are bad people. There are all types of people out there. So I put that just because there was no background information given and there was no neutral response, you can say. So do I believe that there are some people out there who are interested in just getting money out of it? Yes. But do I believe that there are people who actually might fall and get hurt? Yes, that as well. It just depends on the evidence that's given on whether they go to a doctor, get test results and all that, if there's physical damage or within their body.
Thank you for being honest and sharing. Does anyone else kind of have that general overall sentiment that you hear slip and fall, trip and fall, that you're a little bit more skeptical of the person? Does your radar go up? Anyone else have that feeling? Okay. some people are inclined to believe if you trip over your own feet, it's on you. It's your bad, your responsibility. But some people think it's the store's fault if it happens at a store and maybe it's something left out or a floor that hasn't been cleaned. I want to see who's more on the side to think it's on you, that it's your personal responsibility. If you fall, it's your responsibility. Anyone feel that way? Okay, so does everyone think it's more on the store? It's the store's responsibility if someone trips inside?
I think it depends on the circumstances.
Okay. It could go either way. You just need to hear
The way.
what happened. Okay. Does anyone else agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes?
I do.
Yes.
Has anyone here ever had a slip and fall or a trip and fall? Or know anyone that has and suffered injuries? Okay.
I do.
How many people think that there's just too many lawsuits in the world right now? Does anyone feel that way? You're 21. I can't tell if you're frozen.
My screen is frozen for some reason.
Okay. It looked like a hard position to hold, so I wanted to check. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you fine. I just can't. I don't know how to unfreeze it, and I don't want to touch it because I'll break it.
I know the feeling.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure if you did raise your hand on any of those questions, but any thoughts or feelings on, people who slip and fall, trip and fall? Does that kind of raise a red flag in your mind, or no?
Not particularly. I know that in front of my office, our landlord cut a tree down because the roots were causing the sidewalk to buckle, and I think it had a trip and fall case, so they cut the tree down.
Okay.
You have a couple more minutes, Ms. Hayes.
Thank you. Has anyone here ever been a part of a lawsuit, either the person who's suing or the person being sued or a class action? Any experience? Journal
I have
19?
I'm number 21, yes.
I have.
Yes.
Oh, are you number
19.
21, 19, and was that 32?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start with 32. Tell us about your experience with the legal system.
Yeah, my number was not addressed in the opening. I'm a lawyer, so I do plaintiff and defense work. I've done class actions. Haven't done any slip and falls.
1, 2, 3.
I've settled some car accident cases. Haven't tried any of those, but.
Do you work for both plaintiffs and defense?
I do.
Okay. Juror 19, tell us about your experience.
We had a very wealthy person move into our neighborhood in Taos, New Mexico, who decided that the 1.5-mile road that my husband and I had built up the top of the mesa was a public road and that he should be able to use it. And he sued my husband and I and about 23 neighbors, including the gas company, the county, the electrical company, etc. As I said, he was very wealthy. The lawsuit lasted 12 years and was finally settled. It was a long, crazy thing.
Is it fair to say that was a negative experience?
Well, yeah. It took a lot of time and effort. It didn't cost us anything, but time and effort, a lot of time and effort. And at that point, we were living in Colorado, so we were always driving out into Mexico for hearings and stuff.
Juror 36, I haven't heard from you. Just thanks for being here. Kind of want to know how you feel about a store's responsibility to look out for slip hazards, and do you think it's impossible for a store to eliminate all potential safety hazards? Or do you think they should, that's their job?
I mean, yeah, it's part of their job to have a safe work environment, not only for themselves, but for their customers. And I know, you know, as a consumer, if you see something, you kind of let somebody know right away, hey, there's a spill or there's something there. And if the, you know, the store doesn't get to it quick enough, then it's the company's responsibility.
So it sounds like you're kind of dividing responsibility between the customer to recognize a danger in the store to do something about it. Is that fair?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's Mr. Friedenfeld's turn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Folks, my name
You're
is
welcome.
Dan Friedenfeld, and I represent the defendant Walgreens in this matter. And I'm trying to decide between juror number 21 and juror number 36, who has a more comfortable looking recliner. And I think juror number 30. Juror number 36, you're a bank supervisor?
Yes.
How long has that been the case?
It's about 3 years now.
Okay. Does the bank that you work in have a video camera?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had to review the video camera to see things that you're interested in seeing?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever rely on the video camera to determine what happened in a certain dispute?
Yes.
Have you ever had people stumbling or tripping or slipping in your bank in the last 3 years when you were the supervisor?
Yes.
Is that when you went back and looked at the video, or was there other things, cash registers?
Other things like cash registers and money transactions.
Okay. Have you ever reviewed a video after someone said they slipped or tripped and fell?
No.
Okay. Do you have experience filling out accident reports if someone does slip or trip or stumble in your bank?
Fortunately for us, we haven't had to do that.
Okay. All right. Do any of you feel that you would tend to favor an individual who's suing a place like Walmart just because it's a person versus a business entity that's involved in the lawsuit? Anyone feel that way? Okay.
Hold on, juror number 23, your screen is dark. Can you hear me? Juror
Yeah,
number
I can
23?
hear you. I'm trying to see if I
Okay.
can fix that.
That's okay. What I'm going to say is just say yes. If you think that you have an affirmative, you can't raise your hand. We can't see it. Just say yes. Okay, go ahead.
That happens to the best of us. All right. So do any of you believe that just because the plaintiff is going to be present during this trial and our attorney is going to be coming in with boxes and having been well prepared and things, that the plaintiff is necessarily entitled to a verdict just because they're participating in this trial? Would any of you feel that at the end of this trial that you'd be unable to render a verdict in favor of Walmart, where Ms. Mulligan would get nothing, if the facts and the law supported that verdict? Would anyone have a philosophical problem with that? Do any of you believe that just because there's an accident at a commercial building inside a retail store, that the retail store must have done something wrong? Does anyone have that feeling? Okay.
No.
Will all of you be able to listen to all the evidence and wait until the end So his honors instructed you on the law before you come to a conclusion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Have any of you seen or heard anything thus far that tends to make you want to favor one side over the other?
No.
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 All right.
No.
Ms. Juror number 32, you said that you are an attorney and that you have handled cases other than slip and fall cases. Is that right?
I have never handled a slip and fall case. Correct.
Okay. Have you tried cases?
Yes.
All right. And thus far, have you seen anything or heard anything in the opening statement or the statement of the case that was given by the judge that makes you want to favor one side or the other?
No, in fact, I don't remember what juror was talking about this, but I think it was the questionnaire was problematic when it was in one area when we were asked if we favored one thing or the other, and I think it was a question of what are the circumstances. So you can't really say until you hear what the circumstances are. So that's where I fall.
Okay. So right now, everyone's starting on the same plane, and you've heard no evidence, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your time. Your Honor, I have nothing further.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to, by the way, juror number 37, are you there somewhere? He's off the screen. So in any event, what we're going to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to send you off into oblivion for a little while we go and do our final jurors. Please do not log off because we're going to be bringing you back once we select the final jury, and you'll hear what's going to happen at that point in time. Ms. Hayes, Mr. Friedenthal, do we need a sidebar at this point?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.